Okay, so here we are live. Uh, Welcome to Division 3. This is the first division that races week 2.
It
And
is.
I believe we're about to go any time now.
We are indeed. Had a bit of a delay, but we are good to go. That they did actually wait for us, which was very nice. Do we have the chat? Do we have it posted in the chat? We do. Link is the same.
Okay. And we're about to go racing. This will be a pro session with no pickups. Gonna be very different
Yes.
from the previous week. In fact, as I've said yesterday, everything could turn upside down.
Indeed, indeed. Um, so not only is going to be pros rather than rookies, but pickups are indeed going to be off.
And TomTom gets off to a good start. I believe that SNW is using, but Perpexel is following. Perpexel was a lot, as far as I can tell. The Perpexel's driver, by the way, is Olmo. Perpexel is in some ways a higher top speed and acceleration to Yeka, so it will be interesting to see how he compares to the Toyekas. It does have some disadvantages, some people feel, but it's not a huge difference.
We saw a big wreck by Tom Dom, who was the leader by a pretty good margin. He's going to be falling down to 6 or so. More importantly, falling back into the large conglomerate of people. We saw a couple people look like they're going to hit that book, just barely dodging it. That is one of the tricky parts of Castle 2. We've got the jump that you just saw, a blind turn right here, which was just piloted quite well by Olmo. And
Oh, Flo making a mistake in the left, and then Riles hitting the barrel on the inside. So they exchange positions twice, and the order doesn't change. Riles gonna be hitting the chair, I believe. It didn't look like that on my screen, but with ping, it probably happened like that. The way he was driving, and now he hits the inside wall.
having some more issues is going to be Riles falling behind William Adama on a getaway after Flo hitting the book. Somebody left that book on the ground and is going to be quite the issue for these players. A lot of them dodging it on that first go around, but Flo might have forgotten about it just a bit there. We are looking at almost podium. Tom Dom fighting for podium, fell back quite a bit, clawing his way back into third. The back of a mistake by Flo there.
Oh, some people choose the inside line of that table. Some people choose the outside. Honestly, we've seen this happen on one of our Cash Cup events, and it's interesting to see that it didn't affect positions, but it could make differences in terms of the race.
Riles making his way, holding on to fifth. Olmo in sixth with that Perp XL. Zed, Jeromu. Anybody hitting that book? Nobody. The players finishing in a line. William Adama taking first place on that one, followed by, you're going to have to correct me on this, Inigo. Not sure how the
Inigo, one of those.
Inigo. Apologies for that.
I'm not sure either. So not something to quote me on. As far as I can tell, we also have transcoding options, so that's good.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So those have been added to the channel. Maybe since the channel has been getting some more use recently with the Hot Seat Revolt Racing League events as well. Maybe put us over the line into getting transcoding, so congrats. We are headed into the next one. No need to pull up the scoreboard for now. Where are we taking it?
Toys in the Hood 2, one of the stock tracks, and the part to watch out for is definitely the bridge section, but the start could also be interesting. If they go side by side into those first turns, that could end up in a pile-up.
Absolutely. We're going to see issues right away. That is going to be Jeromu and the Humma have some issues. Some people going straight through that veranda. Others going to go to the side. It's going to be Olmo hitting that edge. A couple others possibly diagonal jump serving to be an issue for Zed. And one other, William Adama, Flo, Roddick is going to be our top 3 for now.
So is anyone gonna make the bridge?
Ooh.
Roddick messed it up. William and Flo both made it through without major difficulties. So they're fighting for the lead with a 30-meter gap behind them. They can fight each other and they don't really have to worry about anything else right now. Flo hits the inside wall. So, oh, I see him lagging.
Ooh.
And it's gonna crash William.
Throwing
oh, wow.
off William just a little bit. Almo implicated in it as well. Jeromu, who spun around early in the race, is back up into the podium. Dogma Chip, who took a really strange line at the beginning. It made me a little bit worried. They're actually sitting in 4th at the moment. So nice recovery by them. Choosing to take some different routes here. Jeromu struggling, did find the bridge.
Jeromu struggled through the bridge section, slid out to the right, entered back onto the pass basically, and someone, I believe it was Inigo, pushed him. So he managed to keep going with a bit of a momentum using that.
40 meters difference between 2nd and 3rd as Flo and William make it through that diagonal portion one last time. Jeromu and Almo holding on. Almo
using the perfect salon. I don't know if he's how used to the car he is. Regardless, the car has a bit of a different suspension compared to the Yeka, which is probably the biggest difference handling wise. And it's gonna mean that he might have to take certain jumps and ramps differently, including the bridge.
headed back to the front of the pack is going to be Flo with a nice little lead on William. We are on the 4th lap out of 4. Jeromu close by on Dogma Chip, who's currently sitting in 3rd place.
It's gonna come down to the bridge still, because if Flo messes it up, William can still pass him. William is going clean, but Flo also made it not gonna be
clean. Dogma taking it very safe. Jeromu going to be taking it riskier, but just barely clips that bridge. Riles with a nice scoot through there. Zed scaring me just a little bit. Tom Dom coming back from behind, but not able to stick the landing. Inigo and Maddie, followed by Roddick in the caboose this time around. Flo and William Adama, extremely nice performances. Dogma Chip locking down that 3rd place as well. Jeromu in 4th.
Yeah, it seems like in the last lap they basically made the bridge section quite similarly. So this man that no one could really pass anyone else, having similar paces. We should be ready for Kaddish Sprint though, which, if you saw the previous track was hard, well, this track is gonna blow your mind down.
Yeah. Kaddish Sprint, take it away.
It has tight sections, bumps, hard downhill spirals, and I think that quite well sums it up. But also, you might fall to your death if you have no wall to help you recover. So that's also a big source of time loss. Jeromu is taking the lead. Hama is a decent contender at this track, partially because of its suspension difference. Compared to the Yeka, I believe, some people are crashing not even in that hard tight part, rather afterwards, where originally that would be the star.
Right. We did see William Dama crash at that early part, but already recovering into 2nd place, followed by Flo and then Almo, who has switched to the Toyeka. Flo with some issues on the landing. The honks are going out.
I don't know what car William is driving, but it seems to be a grippy one. He might be having some issues on the bumps, but not so much that he is not so much to catch him off guard and for him to make a mistake. So he is catching Jeromu because of this. It's only 20 meters at the moment. We're about to enter possibly the hardest sections of the track. It's gonna be that tight section with a ramp up.
Just saw it by
And
Jeromu. Sticks it.
and William doesn't make it. He clipped the right side. And because of this,
Riles.
he falls back by 30 meters.
Wow, we saw Almo nail that landing, but then having more issues at the start portion that we talked about earlier that technically should not be a difficult portion of the track. So very interesting to see him nail that, but then not be able to find the follow-up. It would have been quite a good number of positions. Raya is struggling as well on one of the more precarious parts of the track. No handrails or anything like that. Riles continuing to fall closer and closer to Flo, trying to hold on to the podium. Almo managing
What
to
I can
recover.
also see is Olmo switching to Yeka. So maybe he assumed he'd have better luck driving Perpexal, but he's less experienced on it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he just decided, oh yeah, I'll switch it around a bit. But Toyeka might be the better choice, depending on your skill level and experience.
So we see Jeromo again with a pretty clean exit in one of the difficult portions of the track. Super narrow. William also on a bit of a breakaway. Riles gonna have his work cut out for him. Has to defend against Almo and try to catch Flo if he wants to get into the podium.
I just saw William drive a bit wide on the left turn with a bump on the inside, and because of his car having so much grip, he can afford to do that and not lose much time. And Jeremy is messing up, so a single small mistake could hand it to William, but it might not come at this point, and Jeremy is gonna win Caddy Sprint.
Incredible performance by Jeromu, but Riles breaking away from Flo there finally. Almo hunting for some scraps, not gonna be able to find him. Inigo trying to hold on to 6, but he's having some issues, and if TomTom takes that jump, Super Narrow might have been able to make it. Doesn't look like it though. Dogma Chip defending against Roddick and Maddie as well. Both of them going for the moon right there, and nothing to show for it. Maddie and Zed both having to repo. Followed up by Kuba to finish this out.
Yeah, Kobayashi is gonna finish last on this track, which is 12, so the lobby isn't filled. So it's maybe would have been ahead of a few players who aren't in the lobby. We don't know.
Very true. So we can check out the scoreboard here if it has been updated. Does seem to have been updated. William Adamo with 65 points, almost a 15-point disparity quite early on. We're only 3 tracks in here, now 15 points. If William were to do especially poorly and Flo were to come in first, then maybe Flo could reach William right here. But otherwise, it is going to be Flo and Jeromu fighting. Ryle's pretty close, but closer to Inigo, as well as Almo and TomDom. Dogma Chip doing quite well as well.
So William gets up to a great start. What car is that he's driving? It's Drome Champ. And it also has grip, but I'm not sure how well it can handle Toivonen Mayhem's turns. Because this is a track where Toyeka basically... Well, how should I describe it? It's a rail for Toyeka. And other cars with more grip might not turn better here.
You're right.
This track definitely feels like it was designed around Yeka. And Riles is leading. William is still right behind him. William is definitely doing strong in this lobby. But Riles on the Yeka is pulling away in those turns. William might be losing a bit of speed in there, and actually Flo is the one getting closer to William.
That's right.
And Kobayashi.
Yeah, Kubaisic able to pass up Flo, maybe just for a moment, maybe with some longevity. We'll have to wait and see. Almo also waiting in his familiar 5th place. has been floating around right there in position number 5 for a couple of tracks now, and some excellent driving by Flo going to get him super close to that fender.
Yeah, he's right behind him. And this is an opportunity for the pass, but it's not gonna be enough.
It ends up being enough though. Kuba running into the side there, getting pushed up a little bit, and Flo seizes the opportunity.
I definitely expected a dive bomb there, but Flo gave enough space. He's playing fair and square. That might not be what we see from all drivers, but he's now in third by 10 meters, and there's only one lap to go.
Looking at the rest of the field, we do have a battle for 5th between Zed and Jeromu. Dogma Chip and Almo, as well as Maddie, caught up in it. Tom Dom close behind. A little bit further for the rest of them. Ryal's still leading. William Adama in second place, 30 meters in front of Flo. And it does seem to have turned into a bit of a line. Kuba is not going to be able to close the gap on Flo. Jeromo on Zed, neither. Tom Dom does have a chance on this S&W if he can catch Maddie, and Maddie almost taking the jump there. It's not quite enough. Almo fell back quite a bit down to 11th, and Inigo finishes
the acceleration of S&W almost gave Tom Dom that position.
I think S&W is going to be a strong performer in this, to be honest with you. Would possibly be stronger with pickups on. Such nice recovery, but I think it's quite a strong car for the pro class.
So S&W has strong pace. It can beat Toyota, and I think it can beat Yeka on most maps. The key problem when it comes to the fight with Yeka is consistency and stability, because you're more likely to make a mistake on S&W.
Very true. Very, very true. And we are headed to the Great Silence. Somebody said scary, and I would agree with them. This is going to be quite the scary map. Now, this is Division 3. I don't know if we're going to see anybody take the time trial risk. We will have to wait and see. I'm not catching it. Doesn't look like anybody took it over the railroads without taking the ramp. Flo accidentally taking it. Jeromu exiting the U-turn with precision. It looks like all of them making it quite well. William Adama getting turned around. The rest of them taking that U-turn with almost perfection.
The other hard section, as we've talked about with you before the stream, is the jump down, and Inigo messed up jumping into that fence. Dogma is going for the ramp here, which is gonna cost him like 2 places. Maybe he doesn't know the track that well, but we'll see. He already came back up to third, and he's only 20 meters behind Riles, who's chasing Jeromu for first. Jeromu's going for the ramp, and Riles too. They're all going for it again.
Yeah, we'll see how Jeromu does when he exits. Looking strong though. Yeah, very nice. Riles seems to be gaining, but wasn't enough this time around. Inigo also gaining on Dogma Chip. Almo and William in a group as they go for the landing. Jeromu and Riles locked into this 1v1.
It's a classical Toyota battle, and Riles is gonna have to let go of the gas a bit there, and he's gonna have to force he's gonna be forced to let Jeromu ahead, but also he's gonna be hit by Inigo. That Jeromu's spinning on the landing with Hama's instability.
I was actually going to
more, and you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, I was gonna note that after that first ramp on the ice section, Jeromu actually did quite well to not oversteer with the Hama and spin out, but he did indeed spin out there on that jump.
But it's still not over, because there's half a lap to go, and Vials could still make small mistakes, and Hama might be better at some sections.
Riles hitting the beer bottle, not going to do too much though. Inigo breaking away.
Jeromu is falling back now, so unless Riles makes one mistake in the final turn, it's gonna be his race. Jeromu is gonna finish second, and Inigo will be able to complete the podium.
They're up until the 6th position. It's pretty much set in stone for all of them, but Flo battling with Roddick to find 6th. Indeed he does. Hopefully going to be able to hold on to it. We see 3 of them getting piled up on the gallows. Olmo behind Zed. Kuba breaking away. Does not find it. Does not find that inside line.
That was really close.
Olmo finding it once again. Is going to be Dogma Chip. Fell back quite a bit there after that first slap.
Okay, do a refresh now, I think. If there's anyone who I expected to go for cuts, it would be Riles, but also he's quite good at discovering them. I don't know how much he wants to execute them because there's quite a bit of risk.
Yeah.
Not as much reward to consider.
Yeah, that, and also it wouldn't save a ton of time necessarily. It would be pretty nice, but keeping in mind the MotoGP system, if he messed up, he could be losing potentially 7 points from 2 positions or something like that. Whereas if he just holds on to first, then he's got first, so no need to risk it and fall back. I just noticed that he actually came in first on this one. Actually, Jeromu was leading for a good amount, but that one Hummer landing causes some...
I was wondering if, like, maybe they could go for cuts only in cases where they need to catch people ahead. Now, Sakura coming up, though.
Wow.
What will be interesting to see is the crossroad for sure, because... someone is gonna get eliminated for sure, but who is it gonna be? It's only 3 laps. There's no way for it to...
Already some issues, some big pushing gonna happen right here. Jeromu getting caught up in the mix. A couple of other people as well. Big, tough landing, and Tom Dom also gonna be running into...
the SNW having good acceleration, leading by 10 meters, but then running into that wall.
And now
spin outs. Takes the lead.
Roddick and Maddie both going to be spinning out right there. We're in 3rd and 4th respectively. William and Riles. And they both wreck!
I believe Riles was able to do the wall bang because of the fixed walls, but they crashed. I don't know if they hit each other, but they both fell back like 3 or 4 places. Riles is going to force his way back into second.
The S&W having some issues. Maddie catching up Zed as well there. Riles and Kuba are dueling it out. Some issues with the cornering there, I guess you could say. And Maddie is going to be in 4th. Dogma, tough landing. Couple of them with tough landings. Tom Dom fighting his way back from 8th. Hoping to find some more positions.
Oh, the fight for second is on. Matty reaching Kubaizush after Kubaizush got hit by a landing car. So this is gonna be an interesting section to watch. They are not going for wall bangs. I don't know if Kubaizush did, and they're both going around the house.
A bunch of them going around the house. Flo and Matty.
And Flo caught Matty and is now ahead. Can he keep it, and can he go for that second place as well? No, he cannot. Because he crashes.
Tough jump by Flo there. Unfortunate to see. That is going to be Maddie with a pretty solid position, but Jeromu joining the fight, as well as Dogma Chip and Olmo, all caught up in this. A bit of oncoming traffic almost caused some issues. Not going to happen this time around. Tom Dom getting caught up in it. And it is Riles with 40 meters. Definitely has the potential to be hitting oncoming traffic right here. We'll see if he does so. Maddie and Flo still in that 3rd place battle.
Riles is able to go
sneaking by.
Kubaizush is falling back at the moment and is right in the grasp of Flo. There's a few turns left. The bridge section is gonna be crucial, including this jump. They both make it. They're going quite safe there. But Flo is not gonna catch Kubaizush like that. But Kubaizush does make a mistake, so Flo is ahead by 1 meter. Riles is gonna crash ahead of them. Flo takes the lead. Riles is second. And that also ruins Kubaizush's attempt at second and first positions. Dogma's gonna pass him as well. Jeromu finishing behind him.
Yeah, rough finish there for Riles, rough finish there for Kubaizis as well, as he had to do a full repo just like Riles did. And Tom Dom, I do believe, was the biggest loser here for the oncoming traffic. Got hit quite a few times and got like basically pile driven into the water, it looked like, on the last lap there. And is Riles taking first place by 3 points. 4 points is going to be Flo behind William. A 13-point gap between third and fourth. And then a bigger gap between that. So we already see the gap starting to develop. People like Tom Dom, Almo, Kabizers, they do have the ability to move up. But some of these upper positions are starting to get out of their grasp. Now, it has just begun. As we said, with the MotoGP scoring, going to be big gaps that they can gain back.
Yeah, and it's the top four that has the best chance at a win, because there's only 17 points. No, I mean 20 points. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at. So that's gonna be interesting. Jeremy can still win this from fourth, and he's leading the race early on. Kubaito, Rudik, and William follow. It's gonna be interesting to see which cars can perform well on PR Harbor, because it's quite a different track from some others. I don't think Hama is gonna be as good here.
Yeah, we see big speed boosts going to be coming up. Do they take them, though, is the question. A couple people taking them, but really it is optimal to be taking it if you know the line. It's going to come down to do they know it or not. Jerome was just barely missing that speed boost, it looked like, but he seems to be keeping pace with William. Roddick actually out in third for the moment. Had a bit of a mishap, going to be falling behind Flo. Almo and Inigo close as well. Ooh, Almo taking it way too close.
I'm going to also point out that Hama, I think, is slower than Yeko here overall, but to add to that, it might become more unstable on the boost. So I think Jeromu is gonna have a hard time. If he can win this, that's gonna be quite impressive. Oh, and he is having difficulties on the boost.
William, on the other hand, doing quite well on him.
Yeah, because of the oversteady nature of Hama.
Oh, yeah. Inigo.
And
Inigo didn't even go for the boost, I believe, but just by the nature of Jeromu going for it and messing up, it is going to be quite enough for Inigo to start catching him. Roddick close behind as well. Flo and Almo pretty close.
Oh, Roddick is going to crash hitting the inside wall there. So that's going to put him out of contention for second, at least for now. And Inigo and Jeromu are fighting. Jeromu makes a really nice over-under. He's gonna be able to make the boost as well. So he has second for now, but Inigo has a higher top speed and more stability in these 90-degree turns.
Ooh.
However, he crashes, so
yeah.
that's not gonna matter. And Flo and Olmo are gonna be catching back up.
Taking it too tight on the corner though, Zed. Passing up both of them. I'm not sure what car he's in either.
That was the quickest jinx I've ever done. As I was saying, that Flo crashed.
Yeah. William Adamo, super big gap headed into the final lap here. Zed, Roddick, Flo, Almo, Riles seems to be the main battle as this race comes to a close. Riles passing up one. Can he pass up any more? The current point a leader, but it won't be if William manages to finish first and Riles sixth. Zed having to repo. Almo hitting the corner.
Riles is right behind Roddick. Who's gonna for the asphalt? Who's gonna go for the inside line? Riles is going a bit wider, but he's gonna be able to keep space.
It was pretty wide, but it was enough. And we do see Tom Dom in the SNW does manage to find a couple of positions, but definitely not as many as he wanted. As we wait for the points table to update, you'll know it's updated when William Adama is at the top, and there he is, 10 points ahead of Riles. Jeromu,
is 22 behind, because the leader was Riles, so even though he lost out on that win, he still didn't fall too far out of the win range. And Inigo in fifth is quite a bit behind, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So we got Schools Out 2 on the menu for our next track here, which I am personally a huge fan of. We're going to be seeing a bunch of twists and turns. It's a very windy and made of many different parts. We'll be going through a bunch of different parts from the stock tracks world, such as the supermarket area. We got some toys in the hood action as well. And as they begin their first turn, already some issues coming out. The Honks.
Oh, Jeremo going for the pass on the right and taking the lead from Olmo with that. I think Olmo is gonna be going fairly safe. And
Note that Riles did not go for that shortcut that we hypothesized earlier that he might take, opting for that safe route.
yeah, I don't think it's a huge gain and not very easy to pull off. Regardless, oh, Riles has to take evasive action there. And he's gonna be hitting the mill, but seems to survive that. Oh, and he's up to fourth. This is not an easy section of the track by any means. And they're gonna have to jump down here.
Riles pushing Flo. Flo does manage to recover, but Riles just driving him across. William with some troubled landings there. And as
Jeremo fell into the river on the right, into the sewer, I mean. That's not really a river, but he's down in fifth, and Riles takes the lead with that, and the top 5 is really close. Another mistake by Jeremo, and Olmo is messing up as well, as far as I can tell. Yeah, he's behind now. So what was the top 5 fight is gonna be top 3 at the moment. Riles leading Flo and Kubaizush into the schools area of Schools Out. Kubaizush making a mistake and sending William flying.
Yeah. Tom Dom looking to seize the moment here. Is out in third place with the SMW going extremely fast, but can he hold on? No, he cannot. That's going to be a very, very, very unfortunate repo. Going to lose a bunch of positions on the back of that, down into 7th place. Now they go for the jump. We talked about this as well, and they are doing an excellent job at.
No, lost a lot of distance there, though.
Jeromu.
And it's going to be going wide there. Jeromu is going to gain a bit more. But it's only 2 laps and they've just began lap 2. It's still 2 minutes though.
Riles has started to get away, and they are in danger of piling up at this jump straight ahead of us into the narrow ramp into the supermarket area. This is going to be a scary moment for Live Them. Jeromu wrecking. Kubaizus is going to be falling at a strange angle. Jeromu passing him by. Flo and William continue.
William being in third, that's certainly not what Riles wants to see.
But
and William making a mistake there.
And Flo matching.
50 meters is still not gonna be a guaranteed victory halfway through this lap
Very
as well.
true.
So.
Kubai's having some more issues. Gonna be falling behind Inigo as well as Maddie. And that's going to be good news for Jeromu. Who starts to get a gap, flips over, holds on though into the skate park. We are going to see these numbers get squished very close to each other.
Okay, Riles got closer to the 2 people in second and third, and William seems to have gained a bit on Flo. And William is going under the desk, so he's taking the bit more risky route. Remember that the last turn is where Flo lost like 40 to 50 meters in the previous lap. And it's gonna be coming soon, but William making a mistake.
Could have recovered, but did go for the repo.
It repo too early.
And we see the jump. Riles spinning around. Flo nails it, but it's not going to be enough. William with a little bit of spin as well. It recovers quite nicely though, and it looks like not much action going to be happening as we finish this out. Most players on a bit of an island. Yep, as we finish ourselves out here. Zed going full speed, nails that, and Roddick finishing us out. Riles, Flo, William is going to be our top 3. Jeromu holding on to 4th. Oh my god, I did not flip over for that one. I am so sorry, y'all. We just started doing these. And yeah, that is totally my bad. We were locked into Schools Out 2. You got the radio portion of that one, and now we are headed into SBX Alpine. It is going to be Ryal's 1 point behind William at this point.
Yeah, we didn't hit our donation goal for schools out. Apologies.
Yeah, exactly. You only got the
next
audio for
time.
that one. Maybe, yeah. So quite unfortunate. But the fortunate thing is that not too much happened there, so you don't have to worry too much about that. We did see a bit of a shaky landing from Flo, losing a bunch of time, but that was pretty much it. Now, as we head into SBX Alpine.
I mean, they were quite close in that second lap, for second, third, and even Riles right ahead.
Nothing happened in the end, though, so we're fine. But SBX Alpine, there is one specific portion of the track that I have in mind for SBX Alpine that is going to be a trouble area for these racers, but it's near the end. Actually, all of them are near the end.
And it seems like you did switch screen this scene
We
this
did.
time.
We did
So
indeed.
let's go racing
Ready
and
to
actually
go.
watch the action. Jerome was gonna be taking off from the front row, but he's not gonna be able to find enough gap. And Inigo is gonna take the lead into turn 1. William following close behind. Inigo going strong on that probe 24. Are they gonna be going left? Are they gonna go left? No.
Tom Dom gonna be knocking a bunch of people, but he holds on. And Inigo showing some signs of stress, but Jeromu is going to ultimately be the one who loses the most there in that portion. Now that portion, and then this portion as well, with the elevated hairpin turns, are the scariest portions of this track. We actually did not see much carnage at all there, though.
Yeah, and it seems like Probe 24 is working great on this track, because the thing you need is basically speed. It's not that slippery despite the snow characteristics. Wow, Riles is taking the pass on the left and is gaining quite some time compared to the others who are just jumping down on the right. But it's not gonna be enough to get any close to Inigo in first. But like I've said, the stability and understeer of the car is actually coming in handy here.
In the meantime, William Adama is hunting a position or two. We are only on the third lap, about halfway done with this track. Is hunting down Dogma Chip. Almo wanting a piece of the action as well, but has to deal with Tom Dom on the SMW. Going to be pushing him hard with that acceleration. William does pass up Dogma and actually pushes him into that thing just a little bit. Doesn't manage to mess up too poorly. Tom Dom trying to pass, not able to do so. Now he is. Jeromu also trying to get into this, and does, as Almo gets caught up in one of the little place markers on that elevated hairpin. Jeromu on the inside angle as we head into the final lap.
It's really close. Yeka is probably better here. So we'll see if Dogma can catch up in any of these turns. Jeromu's doing it decent. They're both gonna be jumping on the right. They're not taking the pass. Riles has been using the whole race. Inigo will probably be able to win it. And the top 3 is quite sad.
Tom
Can Tom
Dom.
Dom? Oh! I wasn't actually catch William,
Right,
but
the opposite. Dogma on the inside actually does not find it against Jeromu. And Zed and Tova actually not in last with that RC Bulldog. Quite a strange pick on the RC Bulldog, especially for picks off, but is going to be finding at least one position there.
oh yeah, and Tova has joined recently because I believe he said hi during one of the races. Maybe it was goes out. So this might have been his first race actually in this event. Riles is taking back the lead
Is
with
indeed.
167 points, but he's only 6 points ahead of William.
Indeed, indeed.
I don't know how many tracks are left.
Once
Still
again,
5.
yeah, we
So-
are seeing a bit of pileup in 7th through 10th as well. Lots of variability there. As far as first, second, third though, I mean, with 5 tracks left, you said that's they're quite close. They really are.
And Flo still has a chance at it. Jeromu might just be far enough, but he still has a chance, but he needs to pull off some insane performances here.
We
Let's see if
have,
he can do that.
yeah, we have definitely seen some large gaps emerge by this part in previous races for the previous week of the RVRL, but this close as we approach the final tracks, it's
Dogma wasn't flying in the meantime. Kubaitoshi is taking the lead. I don't think we've seen him win a race, so that's interesting. Jeromu, Flo, and Matty are gonna be going side by
Ooh.
side into this ramp section. Jeromu will emerge in front. None of them are going for the shortcut. I think,
None of them go
I
for the
think that will
shortcut.
be mainly a Division 1 thing. Jeromu taking the tight pass. It might be better for Hama, but Yeka, Flo with the Yeka is gonna be going wide. And in the house section, he's actually losing a bit of time, but can gain it back here. Is he gonna be able to pass him around the tree? Around the outside, not gonna be enough because he hit Jeromu actually.
And
They're both gonna be falling off. William takes the
William.
lead.
On the back of 2 massive mistakes back to back by Flo and Jeromu. Now Riles has been having quite some issues with this track, especially in that house portion of the track. So he is not going to be close enough to be able to capitalize on any of that until now.
Jeromu making a mistake, and Riles is up to third. Only 20 meters behind Flo until that crash
Oncoming
on the
traffic.
crossroad.
Yep.
Which is not something we've mentioned. It's not as important as in Sakura, but it seems like it can still cause difficulties.
Right.
Again, they're not going for the jump over the cars. And William has a comfortable 20-meter lead. Jeromu might be inching closer to Flo.
Riles trying to take it just a bit too tight on some of these turns. Flo and Jeromu.
This is the section where they both messed it up last time.
We did
Jeromu's
see
taking
that.
the tree tighter.
Woo!
Yeah, that was close. He reacted really well to that.
Okay.
And behind him, Olmo is chasing Riles. Can he seize any opportunities? He was going a bit wider, losing a few meters. Riles might be a bit faster. Riles again on the crossover, but it's just
Boom.
William.
And that's going to be enough. That's going to be enough. Now, Flo and Jeromu are both locked in with William at this point. You said
Yeah.
that William had a nice, comfortable 20 meters. I was thinking, I don't know. It's kind of impossible to feel comfortable with only 20 meters on this track. And indeed has caused some issues.
Flo and Jeromu do crash though, so William is getting back some of that lead. Of course, it's not comfortable, never comfortable, but comfortable relatively.
Flo seemed to
William-
go fully nuclear on Jeromu at
Jeromu
that point.
is getting closer.
He's closing it.
Is he gonna type up? Is he gonna type up? No, but he's taking it quite tight. There's still a turn left. It might not be enough. And yeah, William is gonna be able to complete
Riles-
the final turn. Riles almost
Not able to pass, but getting quite close. Kuba is potentially in some trouble. Not quite. Roddick falls off though. Maddie manages to hold on. That could be 9th place for Maddie. It is indeed. Roddick holding on to 10th. Not able to pass by Dogma Chip. And Tova
Topa 300 meters behind.
having quite the issue with the RC Bulldog.
Not surprised, if I'm being honest.
William saying Pog Crossroads. And yeah, him and one other person, I believe it was Jerome, who got absolutely destroyed by the crossroad.
Riles also got
Riles,
killed.
yeah.
So,
And then also, yeah, we didn't see anyone take the jump, the shortcut jump.
yeah, like I've mentioned, that might be more of a thing in Division 1 tomorrow. So William is leading by 6 points. Which, as we've seen, can be lost in a single race, just like Riles lost it now. And there's
Right.
4 left.
So, if you come in first, if William comes in first and Riles comes in second, I mean, the opposite of that. If Riles comes in first and William comes in second, that will not be enough to put Riles over, but basically anything else will be enough if Riles manages to get first.
And Rooftops 1 is coming.
It is
So,
indeed.
is Riles gonna go for it? So you're saying? I'd say no.
I would definitely say no. I would definitely say no. I don't think it's worth it. It might be worth it, but it's
it
really
is worth it
risky.
if you pull
It's
it off.
really, really risky.
It's definitely like a 10-meter gain, so definitely something that's worse, and we'll be seeing that in Division 1, I'm fairly sure, even if it's only from the people who are falling behind. But yeah, probably not in Division 3. Tova getting off to a decent start with the RC
It
Bulldog.
truly is.
Let's see how long he can hold on. He's going for the other pipe here. He's still
Okay.
going. He's still going and basically holding up some of
Blocking
those.
some people, yeah. All right, gonna be blocking Kuba there as well. Tom Dom. It's a pretty nice start. Needs to hold on, getting close to the vent there. Okay, and Jeromu is not going to take that angle at all. He's just going to go straight up. Roddick is going to go straight up as well.
William doing that section great.
William and Tom Dom both looking super strong as they head into lap number 2.
Tom Dom is gonna be leading lap 1, it seems. So South American fans will be happy in the chat.
Flo and
William.
Jeromu were locked back in, but Flo failing that jump. It's going to be Tova
William
passing up.
He's right behind us, so the tensions are high.
Big wreck by William, though, is going to alleviate that just a little bit. Flo and Inigo for that 5th place battle. Maddie joining in as well. Riles a bit in the back. Scary situation for Riles, who's quite far behind, but it looked like some wrecks could help him out, but then he wrecked himself. William.
Tom Dom going very strong at the front in the meantime. So I think we can take a focus of the lead at the moment.
Yeah, and we actually don't see people going for the diagonal jumps. Inigo might have right there, and that might have been why he passed that Flo, but we saw Jeromu, who's currently sitting in 3rd, as well as Flo, who was in 4th.
Jeromu was also struggling on the satellite, so this could lead to a battle for 3rd.
Riles is definitely going to be hunting, is in 8th right now.
That's unfortunate for him, as William is still in 2nd. And that's quite a bit of a point loss. At least William is not in 1st from his perspective. We'll see if he stays there. Jerome and Inigo are getting into that fight, though. The roof section is gonna be crucial to it.
Does Inigo take the diagonal? That's what I want to know. It does look like he's taking it quite well. Holds on, yes. And
Jerome's losing ton of time.
Leaving Jeromu in the dust on that section of the track. Excellent performance by Inigo. Flo managing to hold on to 5th, although not for long. He's going to have to do a full repo. Riles jumping in, and if there is some kind of landing issue, it could be Riles finishing this out in 5th.
It's not going to be Riles.
Not going to happen. Flo. Despite a questionable rooftop area with those diagonal jumps, the rest looked quite strong.
Koopa just failed the last jump.
He's going to be punished quite dearly.
I don't know if he lost the position there.
Yeah. Well, Hard to see how he wouldn't, because he was 3 seconds behind Dogma and had to do a full repo there. So, but it's possible. And it does look like we're going to be headed into Titanic next. Tom Dom with a nice finish. That's definitely going to be helping him in the standings. William as well, going to be breaking away from Riles.
Yeah, the top 4 is quite a bit spread out. So there's still 3 tracks left. So we could see something happening. In fact, they're all one by one still within one race win reach of each other.
Right.
But it's unlikely that those top performers are gonna come in last. And in fact, last place is still like 13, so they aren't gonna have as much of a point deficit.
True. It will be pretty negligible compared to 13 versus 16, since the points are getting so close at that point, but it does matter. So we do see Titanic 2 with slightly how would you say it's rocking back and forth a little bit as they go into the...
Yeah, Riles takes the lead from William. So this is the fight we need to be looking out for. Riles does a bit of an over-under, might not have looked like that on his screen, but William seems to have a bit more speed here, and Riles is gonna be blocking. Is Riles blocking? Because it looks to me like he is.
Well, they split up for now, so we'll have to wait and see. They continue to be 0 meters from each other.
Oh, Riles is trying to block William with all of his car, and they're like boosting each other. William is taking the lead for now. Can Riles come back anywhere here? This is a shoulders out fight for sure, and it's for the win of the lobby. Riles does the wallbang really well, and he's 3 meters ahead now. We're 2 laps in. They're gonna be doing the U-turn decently.
Wow. Yeah, it was scary moment there for a second.
Again with the block. And he's still leading.
God.
I think William has a bit more top speed, but it's negligible if Riles is blocking as well as he is. Who's gonna be taking the inside? Who's gonna be wall riding? Riles wall bangs. William is going safer than that even, so William still loses a bit of distance. So Riles has a bit of a breathing room, but he still can't make any mistakes.
Wow, going very wide on the exit there. William seems to be closing the gap just a little bit, and we might see a continuation of what's happened the previous 2 laps. Now we do see Jeromu and Flo, as well as Almo and Zed, very close to each other, battling amongst themselves. William falling behind just a little bit.
Yeah, Flo has a bit of a higher top speed on Yeka compared to Hama, so he could catch Jeromu. Is Jeromu gonna go for the block here?
And
Flo is not gaining enough. He's gonna go for the wall ride.
Big diagonal.
Lost time over there.
Oh, it's enough. Tom Dom having flip over his car. He's gonna lose 1 position right there. 2 positions on that diagonal jump. Is quite a scary jump. You have to think from these racers' perspectives. On lap 3, at the very end, all they have to do is this final diagonal jump, and sometimes it catches them. It really does. It did in that situation. And you're gonna have to run me through the top 3 again.
Yeah, it's gonna be loaded in a second. In fact, it is. So it was 15 points, and now with a 50-point gain from Riles, it's 10. If Riles wins the last 2 races and William finishes second, which is fairly unlikely, but it could
definitely
happen,
possible.
Then they would be tied.
Yeah. So definitely still some room to switch things up. Now, on the other hand, if Riles doesn't do too well and Flo starts turning up, as he has been, Flo and Jeromu have been battling it out together quite a lot. He's pretty close to Riles. If Riles had a couple chokes in these 2 tracks that are upcoming. And before I switch over, it looks like Tom Dom in 6, 23 points.
Both TomTom and Inigo are somewhat safe at the moment in their respective spots. But we still have two races, and one of them, Skating Twins, is beginning. Are any of them gonna go for the
Oh,
cut?
no.
William is going.
William
very
does a little
pass.
bit. Yeah, a little bit goes like halfway does the cut. I don't know how effective that actually is, and he actually goes flying right there. Roddick going much more tight than Jeromu, trying to close it up, but a tough landing by him. Ryals way.
Catching Jeromu. That Yeka is really good on that banking, it seems, compared to Hama.
And
although I don't know how about Jeromu himself was performing.
Tough
Yes,
landing. And we do have a bit of another shortcut. Rouse is going to go for it. I mean, it's literally a straight line, so there's pretty much no reason to not go for it. Skating Toys is quite an interesting track. We do only have 2 laps on it. You've seen most of it. Most of the crazy parts, but there was one right there. Riles and Jerome was splitting up with Inigo and William.
Yeah, Riles hitting the guardrails. So that's gonna cost him a bit of time, and luckily for himself, he did recover from that easily. Not as easily from this crash on the bumpy, dirty section.
Yeah,
Zed
so
passed him.
Jeromu almost spinning out as well, but he recovers, and we see a bit of a gap start to form. Jeromu hitting Zed out of the way, swatting him out of the way, but Zed recovering.
William hit a bench ahead of them. William hit a bench while trying to go his own way of the shortcut. He hit it on the right. Riles gonna be running into issues here.
Oh, a strange barrel roll out of nowhere. And possibility for oncoming traffic hit. There it was. William getting hit just a little bit.
Riles is just using the skate park to its intended purpose. It's another question that we're organizing a race here. So this is not really what he should be doing, and he's gonna lose a lot of time there.
Jeromu and Flo both spinning out. Riles passing him up. William and Zed. And William's going to hit the sign, and he's going to have to do a full repo. TomDom pass him up. TomDom hasn't been doing particularly outstanding as a whole in this race, but is in third right now.
It's only 2 laps, so this is the final lap. There's only a few turns left for Inigo to win in front of Zed and TomDom. Riles is back in the front of William.
William had to do a repo out of nowhere there on the dirt section with a very reliable car. Then Riles has momentarily lost his focus, runs straight. He does finish. Okay, that was crazy finish there. But yeah, he runs onto the rocks.
Oh no.
And it's Riles falling behind William at the end. So William's got to be feeling pretty good about that. Does manage to have the victory over Riles as they head into the final track of today, I do believe. Inigo with a wonderful first place, followed by Zed, who has been pretty quiet in this race, and TomDom. All 3 have been on the quieter side, been doing quite well here and there. So as we update the scores, is this the updated scores? I don't think this quite. Oh wait, we haven't finished yet.
Yeah, now Matty didn't really know the track from what I could tell.
Okay, sorry that we missed that from Matty, but we should have the scores updating, and they are updated. So unless William were to choke and Riles were to do quite well here on Freya, we are going to be seeing a victory overall by William Adama for session number 2. Flo is in the hot seat somewhat against Jeromu, 8-point disparity. And then Zed and Olmo are tied for
second. It's 12 points between them.
Yeah, 12.
So it's a bit harder for Jeromu than Riles. The Zed and Olmo fight for 7th is what the most interesting event seems to be, and Dogma Chip and Kupaizush aren't far behind either.
Dogma Chip could come in first here, and if other people, Zed and Olmo, were to fall behind, that would definitely be enough. But we are headed into Freya. See Olmo starting way in the back. Inigo and Dogma Chip are...
Since it's not really it's not really an open race track. William and Riles might know it better than the rest.
Yes, and there we go. A couple of them going for that shortcut in the grass. William as well as Riles.
I mean, I wouldn't really call that a shortcut per se, but yeah, William is gonna be taking that pass. And he's gonna pass Inigo, who might not know the best